Hey everyone, Admiral Seabass here for the 1966 turn for Vietnam Solitaire Special Edition. Again, I cannot make any trail attacks with my B-52s or Green Berets this turn. So I'm going to roll for trail counters and let's see how many more trail markers we get and where they are. That's a 2 and a 4. So we've only got one trail marker left. So that will go up here to 2, and we already have 2 there, which means we will add a surface-to-air missile here. And so let me check something in the rules. Yeah, I only have one more trail counter here to place, and I rolled it for here. There were already 2, which means you place the MiG unit. The other one I rolled was 4, and there's already 2 there. So bit of a break there for the U.S. All right, attack trail areas. I can't, so we will move on to raising and moving U.S. and ARVN forces. Okay, so down here, we're going to spend 1 political capital point, raise a ARVN troop in the jungle. We're going to go ahead and move these 2 guys in there. We'll attack that NVA troop. Now, I got 1 more NVA troop coming in this turn, so I need good coverage here. So I'm very tempted to raise a couple of these ARVN units to get complete coverage there this turn. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And we will just spread those guys out in there like that. Although, you know what? We are... Put him back and we'll raise one of these Anzac guys here instead, like that. I'm going to spend 2 and raise this U.S. armored troop here in northern Saigon. He defends at 4 in a city, so that makes him valuable there. I'll spend another one and raise another ARVN troop there. And then I will raise 2 U.S. troops, which will cost me 4, so that puts me down to 4. Put them here like that, and now I got 4 points left. I think with my last 4 points, I'll raise an air cav and one of these rocks. I'll put them right there. This is a little bit risky, but I got to compete up there in the Highlands. So that's it. And now we do combat, which will only occur right here. Okay, so this is jungle terrain, which means you use the first number here. The U.S. will attack at 3 or less, the 2 ARVNs at 1, and the NVA at 2. And I think I can roll these all together. So the NVA will be the red dice, the U.S. will be the green dice, and the ARVNs will be the black dice. And the ARVN got a hit, and the NVA got a hit. So those 2 will go like that, and we've temporarily cleared the Mekong. So that's good. And then that is it, I think, for combat that I initiated. So now we will move on to placing NVA and VC units. All right, first we'll roll for VC. And they rolled a 4, which is this, this region right here. So now we roll another dice to see where they're placed, and they are in Area 2, which is right there. So this is somewhat fortuitous for the enemy because they may be able to add to this. So now we do NVA placement. So let's start down here. And I'm going to roll for an area, and they will be put into Area 5, which is right here. So that'll be a straight up fight. Hang on just a minute. Okay, I'm going to take that back because I've been rolling for trail areas from north to south, I think, and I've only got 3 NVA units left. So they're all going to go into way up here because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 trail counters and only 3 NVA units left. So the first one will go into, of course, into this area. The second one will go in there also. And the third one, that does not count. also goes in there. 3 6s in a row. I'm not sure I was rolling those dice very well. Not a super huge fan of this dice tray that I'm using. It's a little small. I feel like if I really roll it and give it a roll, it's just going to bounce out like it did. Okay, so that's it. All the NVA units are on the board now. And these guys right here are not yet in the game. They don't come in the game until, I think, later, like turn 10. Okay, so combat. We'll start up here. And by the way, this is looking pretty good for me to get my first victory point. So this is Rice Paddy, and there's 3 NVA troops and 2 Arvin troops. So slight advantage to the NVA. So let me roll this. 1 hit each. So Arvin's dead. NVA is dead. And then, let's see, now it's 2 versus 1. And NVA got the hit and Arvin missed. All right, so way has been cleared. Now down here. Oh, you know what? I forgot. This should have been resolved on my turn. Okay, so this is Rice Paddy, 4 and a 3 versus a 2. All right. And they're dead. No hit back. So now the only other combat I have, insurgency combat, is right here. And it's jungle, so this will be the VC at 2. And the US is 3. And then I've got an Arvin at 2 and an Arvin at 1. So let me roll the US and the VC first. And the VC hits. And then the lower Arvin will be the white dice. They both miss. All right, so the VC got the first hit. And now I can roll them all together. Oh my gosh, the VC hit again, but the US unit got him back. So a lot of Arvin casualties this turn. So yeah, now we roll for an offensive. So, and again, it rolls out of the dice tray. That's a 6, which means it's a major offensive. So offensive are launched in all territories. And hang on, this is going to be big. Okay, so the first thing that's going to happen is these 2 guys are going to come in here and attack the US and Iraq unit here. Now, I can use this as reaction movement and napalm attack these guys. So that means yep, so I get 2 dice at 4 or less before they get to attack, and they both hit. So these 2 guys are dead. Now, here's the fun thing for the NVA is, so this is good. I'm controlling 4 areas, except what's going to happen is now any areas that have NVA units, to the extent that they have 2 or more NVA units and there are no US or Arvin units, which way applies to all the NVA units except for 2 are going to relocate to the next highest area, which is the Highlands. So I think the way this works is, hang on. So it doesn't specify where they come from. I think it makes sense that 2 would stay in number 1 here, like that, and the rest of them literally all. Oh wait, I gotta leave one more NVA there. The rest of them literally all come down to the Highlands, which makes sense, right? Because it's like, hey, they're not fighting up here. We just conducted a major offensive. We've got to go down here. Now the good news for the U.S. is that these guys don't attack this turn, but they're going to have to deal with the stack pretty soon, or it's gonna, if we roll a major offensive next turn, or an offensive in Region 2, it's going to get real really quick. Okay, air cav redeployment. I'm not going to do any air cav redeployment. So scoring, guess what? I control 1, 2, 3 regions. 3, 4, and 5 have no VC or NVA units in them. So that is a victory point. So I'll put that right there, like that. Okay, now I do the events roll. I'll go ahead and move the game turn here. I get another 15 political capital. And it's game turn 5, so there's no modifier to the dice roll. And that's a 1. Play as normal. Yes, we are going to have some B-52 and Green Beret attacks on the trail next turn. I'm going to go after these two and this one probably. And we're going to try to roll it up and just consistently roll them back up to North Vietnam. So exciting stuff. So stick around for turn 5, 1967, which will be coming next. We got our first victory point this turn. Let's see if we can keep up the momentum. All right, Admiral Seabass signing off.